Tuesday evening. Time for our award-nominated show, Listen to Me, with your hosts, Mimi Stewart and JJ Rodriguez. Comienza ahora.
Bueno, mi gente, aquí estamos en otro martes bendecido. Como ustedes pueden ver en la cámara, we have a full house. Yes, well, we have some people that are hiding. They don't want to be on the camera. But we have Clarke, we have Gina Perez, we have Mila Márquez. Estamos muy bendecidos de otro martes más. Este es el martes antes de Thanksgiving. So this is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. We're going to be very blessed. And as I said, this is where we start our Christmas celebration, because everything that has to give thanks, everything that has to be gratified because of the year, what has come, the good, the bad, again, it's that accounting. Hay esa contabilidad emocional. Yo celebro la Navidad no porque quiero comprar regalos, quiero comprar cosas, porque se pueden comprar regalos todos los días, pueden ser todos los meses y todo el año es Navidad, es lo que quiero decir. Y lo que quiero decirle a esas personas que están un poquito amargadas, asustadas, que traten de levantar ese espíritu navideño y traten de ser contentos, de que sean felices, because there is a reason to live, there is a reason to be happy, there's a reason to give thanks, there's a reason to make that emotional accounting and give thanks for what's going on. And I am Puerto Rican, I like to party, so I find any reason whatsoever to dance and party. So I just want to remember all of my friends, quiero recordar todas mis amistades, que si quieren ir a la fiesta. Oh, by the way, Mimi not here, so Gina's our guest co-host for the day. So Mimi, we love you, we miss you. I hope you're having fun with your family, and we'll hope to see you next Tuesday. December 23rd, we have the Christmas party at the Clarion Hotel on McCoy Road. If you want to get the information, call me at 321-439-8218. Si quieren ser parte de la fiesta navideña el 23 de diciembre, llamen al 321-439-8218 para su información. If you don't get the tickets that we're giving, it's $10 on the door. So if you want to save $10, you don't want to give $10 to HRO or to help us, it's no problem. It's a party. I really don't care. I'm not money hungry. You either pay the $10 or you call me, you get the ticket. It's very, very simple. My opening monologue is very sincere and very simple today. El monólogo mío es basado a las personas que están acusando de acoso sexual a estas personas. We have a lot of people that are being accused of sexual harassment in the workplace, and it's occurred 20 and 30 years past. I understand that sexual harassment is something that should not prevail in the workplace. I'm not in favor of it. But what I do question is kind of the timing of where these accusations come. That is one. The rights of women should always be respected. Los derechos de las mujeres siempre deben de ser respetados, pero si algo pasa, debe de ser anunciado inmediatamente. If a sexual harassment has occurred, it should be brought to light instantly, not wait 20-30 years for it to come out. Why? Because it looks vindictive. Se ve que es en contra de la persona, no es para traer justicia. That's my humble opinion. Second of all, I want to talk about our famous Congressman Darren Soto. Again, he didn't vote for the tax package because he says that it did not bring enough money to the middle class, did not help create jobs, it did not bring money to the infrastructure. I am wondering if he read the bill, because like a lot of the numbskull things that he has done, and again, I have asked him to come here physically, not once, not twice, not 3 times. I even went hunting for him at a Venezuelan event, and they did not let me in the door because they knew, oh, JJ Rodriguez, no! Okay, so if he's so scared of me, I have to keep on bringing him to the floor and lighting a match on his feet. If you think that we need more money to build the infrastructures, what have you done lately? That's one. 2, if you think that you could fix to bring more money to the middle class, which I would agree with you, what plan have you done? 3, how have you worked with the other leadership across the aisle, the Republicans, to be able to come up with ideas to fulfill these three parts, not just saying, no, it doesn't work, I'm not going to vote for it. That makes you a hypocrite, Congressman Soto. And I will always say it, you're not fit to serve the people of your district, in your congressional district, and we need somebody, yeah, los grillos, falta de ausencia. We need somebody that will speak for us, Congressman Soto. So when you could take your foot out of your mouth and your thumb out of your, you will be able to do something for the congressional district you represent by simply walking away. You're not serving the people that elected you. You are going against democracy. So Congressman Darren Soto, we have that famous song that even though we can't play it here, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more. That's what's going to happen to you in 2 years. The people will understand that you're not doing the work. Usted no está haciendo el trabajo que por lo cual fue elegido. Los grillos están sonando cada vez que usted trata de hacer algo. Los grillos suenan porque usted no está representando a los... Exactamente, mira. Ese es Darren Soto hablando. Señores, abran los ojos simplemente porque es latino. Simply because he's a Latin man. He does not represent you. He does not want you. He doesn't care about you. Tell me a piece of legislation that he has passed, that he has authored. Darren Soto has to go. Okay? Darren Soto se tiene que ir. That's my opening monologue. I'm sticking to my story, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yes, and I am a Republican. I'm a Puerto Rican, and I'm a pro-statehood. I've never denied it. In my show. Is it an opinionated show? Yes. Listen to me. Sáquenlo de ahí. All right, my gente. Tenemos a Mila, Mila Márquez. How you doing, Mila? ¿Cómo estamos?
Hi, Jay. Hoy estás intenso.
Yes, estoy intenso porque...
Me di cuenta.
Sí, porque lo que pasa es que entiendo que estos congresistas, hay ciertos congresistas que quieren hacer el trabajo y hay ciertos congresistas que no quieren hacer el trabajo. Ahora, sí hay un congresista que ha hecho un plan de trabajo para ayudar a los venezolanos y tú sabes un poquito más de eso, ¿verdad? ¿Cuál es ese plan?
Bueno, yo te voy a decir una cosa. Realmente aquí se han pronunciado varios funcionarios, ¿okay? No solamente uno, varios funcionarios, porque está Marco Rubio, está Iliana, está Coelho. O sea, son varios, yo no los conozco, ¿ok? Sí. Pero sí sé que son varios que se han pronunciado para ayudar a los venezolanos. Evidentemente también el señor del cual tú acabas de hablar ahora, que él nos ofreció o nos brindó la oportunidad de por lo menos escucharnos, que es una ventana a la situación que se está viviendo en Venezuela y que es bien grave, y como yo creo que tú has visto las noticias, cada día agrava muchísimo más. Pues ya la situación no solo pasa de la represión política, sino pasa ahora a la falta de alimento, los niños muriendo por falta de alimento, por desnutrición y por las medicinas. Evidentemente yo estoy viviendo mi propio caso porque mi hermano es insulino dependiente y no consigue las insulinas. Y se están muriendo los pacientes en Venezuela porque no hay insulina. Entonces es un poco complicada la situación.
Pero vamos a hablar sobre la ley. ¿Qué dice esa ley que quiere promover la gente del Congreso?
Ok, bueno, mira, la ley realmente es para darnos una protección a los ciudadanos venezolanos que estamos en suelo americano o que tenemos el privilegio de estar aquí en el suelo americano, porque yo diría que realmente estar en los Estados Unidos para mí es un privilegio.
Exactamente.
Yo siento que esto es una tierra bendita, una tierra de gracia que nos ha dado la oportunidad a muchos y de sentirnos seguros y tranquilos. Eso ya es bastante. Entonces yo pienso que, bueno, mira, esa idea que se está promoviendo con respecto a darnos un estatus de protección a los venezolanos que nos encontramos dentro de los Estados Unidos o que vengan a los Estados Unidos, por las violaciones reiteradas de los derechos humanos que existen en Venezuela, yo creo que es una ley que realmente nos ayudaría muchísimo a nosotros, los que todavía estamos pendientes por un estatus, pues.
Exactamente.
¿Okay? Y la idea, o sea, por ejemplo, en mi caso, y yo sé que en mi caso es el caso de muchos venezolanos, en mi caso, pues la idea es aprender el inglés, aprovechar los conocimientos que yo traigo de Venezuela, no solo como abogado, sino como docente, como persona, o sea, mi experiencia en varias facetas de estudio de mi vida y trasladarla, o sea, trasladarla a la población y hasta a los muchachos jóvenes, pues, que es lo más importante. En ese sentido siento que es bien importante que nos apoye la comunidad de los ciudadanos americanos, porque realmente son los ciudadanos americanos los que nos pueden apoyar en este proyecto y de verdad yo le hago un llamado, le doy las gracias a la audiencia, le doy las gracias a Jay una vez más, a Miguel por soportarme, a Jay una vez más, a los invitados que tienes acá que no me entienden mucho, pero tú después se los explicarás. Con respecto a esta iniciativa de ayudar a los venezolanos, pues realmente lo necesitamos. Devolver un venezolano a Venezuela es sentenciarlo a muerte.
Exactamente. Déjame traducirlo un momentito. So Mila, she's been talking about that there's a proposal from Marco Rubio, from Melania Roth, from other both. Majority of the congressmen are Republicans. There are some Democrats that are attaching this. They want to create a type of bill where we could protect the Venezuelan citizens that are here, because sending Venezuelan citizens back to Venezuela is sentencing them to death. And even though I am not Venezuelan, I consider her my sister as a Venezuelan, and I think that we have to try and help these people get a better grip of being able to stay here. And again, we're not talking about criminals. We're not talking about gangbangers like the other case from the Central America that are coming over here to create very bad situations. Venezuelans come to work. They're professionals. They're here to be able to make a better future, just like Puerto Ricans are coming.
They're businessmen too.
Yeah, and they're business people. They're business people, and they're son empresarios. They're here to willing to help jumpstart that American dream, which is small businesses. So I applaud, and I'm translating this. So again, Listen to Me is just a forum where we provide information, and Mila's her intention was here to provide that information to y'all, so we could help the Rubios, the Ileana Roths, the people to come on and help us to make sure that the Venezuelan people do not have to go back to an oppressive regime where there's lack of medication, lack of food, students getting killed for no apparent reasons, violation of civil rights and fiduciary rights of the government is not being there. El gobierno no está protegiendo la ciudadanía.
No, es que se viola. Lo que sucede es que recuérdate que en Venezuela no hay Estado de Derecho, ¿okay? Yo como abogado eso te lo puedo certificar. En Venezuela no hay Estado de Derecho en lo absoluto. El venezolano no tiene ni siquiera el derecho a la vida. Punto. O sea, y ya por allí tú puedes entender que si no hay derecho a la vida, no hay ningún tipo de derecho.
What she's saying that in Venezuela there's not right to life. There is no right to life, and I think as any human being that loves God, any God-fearing person, you know that it's integral, the right to life.
And as an attorney, basically, she's telling us, I'm an attorney too, yo soy abogada. And the problem is, if you don't have rights, and those are not inalienable like we have, you have persecution from the top down, simply for expressing your opinion. So that's something we have to remember when we're talking about Venezuela.
De hecho, fíjate, los derechos humanos son universales y tú como abogado lo sabes. Comunidad Venezuela está luchando muchísimo porque se abra el canal humanitario para Venezuela. Nada más el día, hoy estamos al lunes, creo que fue el día jueves o el día viernes, fallecieron 41 niños por desnutrición en Venezuela.
43.
41 en una sola localidad en un día.
In one location in a locality in Venezuela, 41 kids died of malnutrition.
And unfortunately, people do not know the history that Venezuela was a metropolitan mecca.
Yeah.
So it's not we're talking about a country who's always been economically deficient and people suffering. Venezuela was a place when they had the oil companies and the universities that people came from around the world to get educated in Venezuela. So we're not talking, this is what happens when communism and socialism gets in.
Yo te digo, yo en Venezuela era activista de Acción Democrática y de Voluntad Popular del partido que fundó Leopoldo López. ¿Okay? Era activista, de hecho todavía lo soy porque sigo creyendo en la democracia, no puedo dejar de ser activista de algo en lo que creo, sigo creyendo en la democracia. Aquí es donde yo le digo a Jay que yo no soy política porque evidentemente no puedo ser política de algo que primero desconozco y todavía no tengo la cualidad para hacerlo. Y te voy a decir, mira, tristemente Venezuela cayó en un sistema que no es un sistema solamente dictatorial, es un sistema de corrupción, es un sistema de narcotráfico, es un sistema de delincuentes que secuestraron el país y secuestraron a la población. Muchos hemos tenido que huir de la forma en que hemos tenido que salir para preservar nuestras vidas. Jay sabe, yo daba clase en 5 universidades en Venezuela, yo soy docente. Aparte de ser abogado, soy docente. Y yo daba clase en 5 universidades de Venezuela y yo tuve que dejar a mis estudiantes porque en el 2014 yo veía cómo le disparaban y el estudiante caía al piso bañado en sangre. Óyeme, yo soy madre y ver eso a mí me impactó tanto que yo lloraba y yo no dejaba de llorar. Yo llegué aquí con un trauma horrible. Cuando empezaron otra vez los episodios en este año que mataron a 130 estudiantes, yo me senté en mi casa a llorar con una rabia que yo le digo, Dios, quítamela de adentro, porque es que es impotencia, es ver una violencia desmedida, una violencia vulgar, porque es que esa es la palabra, obscena.
It is a vulgar act when you deprive people of their rights and of their constitutional rights to be able to assemble, to have education, and that is what is the dictatorial. Mila, seguimos con eso un momentito, but Gina, thank you very much for talking. We have Commissioner Pete Clarke over here too. Pete, how you doing, man? You've been listening to everything intently. I know that you don't know the Spanish, but I've been giving you the translations little by little. But how you doing? Welcome to Listen to Me. This is your first stance here, and I know that you've been hearing a lot of information. So how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. I understood every word.
Oh, cool.
Venezuela. I remember 2 or 3 years ago, there was a march down at the park by Robinson when this first started happening with Venezuelans and the gentleman from the radio station. Yeah, he was organizing that, and that was one of the most touching moments I'd seen in years when there were hundreds of Venezuelans locked arms, and it wasn't a protest of hatred, it wasn't a protest of anything that in this country is a protest, just saying, we got problems in Venezuela, and let's do something about it. So I stopped going and buying Venezuelan gas. So I haven't bought a drop since. Like, I don't know who sells it. I haven't done it since, but
and it's like, Commissioner, and it's like Gina says, Venezuela wasn't a country that was like that for years and years.
It was a beautiful country.
It was a very thriving metropolis of culture, arts, education. I could still remember when we here in City Hall we had an office that was of the government of Venezuela, and we did a lot of events. So that's one of the first times I did events with them, and it is. But Commissioner, we're here. We feel for the people of Venezuela, and we thank you for those words. But we're here also. You've started a campaign. You're not seeking re-election for your commissioner seat, and that is very happy because we were hungry of a conservative candidate to be able to run for the seat of mayor. So we wanted you to give us that news. What's going on?
Well, I'm running for mayor.
Cool. Mayor of Orange County,
Orange County mayor.
All right.
I just got reelected last year.
You did.
And but it's hopefully you'll find out, when you sit there and you see what goes on day after day, and you think you're prepared for it, but it's a huge job.
Yeah.
But you think about what else can you do? What else can you do at a higher level? And there's so many things that are going right. I mean, and everybody knows this is a great place to be. People are coming here every day because we've got a great economy, great weather, it's a good place to live, raise your family. But underneath it, we got some issues we need to take care of, like homelessness and trafficking and mental health issues that I think if we do it right will be a positive for this community when people look at whether or not they want to move here or move their company here. If we're investing social capital, then maybe that's that point, kind of like the Amazon quest out there now. It's going to be fascinating to see why we did or did not do well. Most folks say it's going to be transportation, and we don't have a very good public transportation system. It could be because we don't do enough, the social capital side of it. But it's going to be kind of a barometer for us, kind of see where we might need to tighten things up and pay more attention. But as a commissioner, you see it kind of in a smaller area. It's kind of a smaller microcosm of it. But when you multiply it by 5 other districts, the enormity of it is kind of a compelling thing to want to go get involved in it and see what you can do to make people's lives better. Because nobody owes me anything. I owe nobody anything. I just want to do this for your young daughter who's over here. Where'd she go? She's hiding back there. And for y'all's kids, that at the end of the day, what we do now, 20 years from now, will be a legacy. And we're living some legacies right now that are not too good. And so what we need to do is make sure that what happens, in other countries, and the Venezuelan crisis would never, I think, happen here. But consequences happen when you don't elect right people. And so people who come here wanting to be free and to open their businesses and not have government intrusion need to be very, very careful who they vote for. Because on a dime, that can change, and all of a sudden they're telling you how to pay people. They're telling you when people can be on leave. They're telling you when you can open. They're telling you how much electricity you should use or you get gigged. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on, and we have no business doing that. And so I'm for small government, and I'm for reaching into the community to help solve problems. But I'm not naive, nor am I going to shy away from social issues, because when it's all said and done, as good conservatives, we want to create more taxpayers. And so so if we take people and help them achieve, then we've created someone who's going to live with the dream that we live, but they're going to pay taxes and help fund the government. So it's kind of a simple equation, but it's a heck of a journey to get there.
And Commissioner, how would you deal with SeaWorld, Universal Studios, Disney? They're the largest employers. Is there something in your plan to be able to negotiate with them, hiring more, wages? They are heavy hitters in the area.
Well, it's when you start talking Disney wages and SeaWorld wages, that's their internal operation.
Yes, and I understand.
They're going to pay market force. Because they have to hire people. Yep. And I'm not as concerned about their ability to hire people because they can offer attractive benefits. Now there's all other things they can put into the kitty to make it better. I'm worried about the bakery on the corner. I'm worried about the car repair shop.
Small businesses.
I'm worried about the print shop that has 20 people. We're not going to go in there and negotiate their wages. We're not going to go in there and say you need to pay these folks $30,800 a year. For when I was a kid, go flip burgers or no offense to burger flippers. I enjoy a good burger, but it's not a career path.
Exactly, it's a first job. It's a first job,
or it's a second job to help a family to do something, and $15 an hour is just we know what's behind that. So
that's why I shoot those questions, because our viewership and our because I say viewership because they could see us online and they could see us through the site. So we were an evolution of what's a radio show. They could see us and they want to know about that, and we have more than 10,000 people that listen to us within the Central Florida area. Another other aspect, the homeless, Commissioner. I know that you have been one of the most prolific, outspoken persons within the homeless situation, and you've even said that it's kind of like an epidemic. Is that what are the bullet points that we could hear from you once you become mayor? Because I know that you're going to become mayor. It's not elections are around. I know it's hard to predict, but I'm putting my feather on that hat that you're going to become the mayor. So how can you help them?
Here's the issue, and on top of what we already have, you have 800 to 1,000 new arrivals every week from the island. Yeah. And
from Venezuela, from Colombia, from other places.
Absolutely. And a good friend of mine's family just got out of Venezuela last 2 months ago. And we met him in Tampa, and he said that was like just an amazing scene. The pure joy of these folks, to be on this soil. And but when we talk homeless, we've adopted this housing first model, and it's a great model if you got a place to put them. Housing first is good if you got a house to put them in.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the quandary we have, is that there's, and this number, it's hard to really, it's like nail jello to a tree, to how many homeless there are. But they say there's 26,000 homeless school kids in Orange County, and they count the kids in the hotels, and so if there really is that many, and somebody working 2 jobs can't afford an apartment. You can't afford a house here is, $250,000 to get you, kind of your nice suburban 2-3. You can't afford that. So our challenge is to see how we can get units, and my challenge would be how can we get units available for this housing first model. But when we ride around the district, we ride around the county, we see complexes that might be disarray. And I think we really need to start actively looking for places to rehab. And there are not-for-profits that will come in and rehab them, and they'll turn them into nice rental properties. But it takes time, man. It takes time, And if you want to build workforce housing, and I'm not going to call it, I'm going to call it what it is. It's workforce housing. It's not affordable housing. If you came to me tomorrow, tomorrow my office would set a plan and said, "Look, I'm ready to go. I got zoning good, everything's good." You're not going to turn a shovel of dirt for 2 years.
Exactly.
And that's another thing I want to work on, is why does it take so long? What's the impediments?
The red tape, as we call it.
There's just so much you got to do. You got the environmental issues and land use issues. There's a big book. Yep. Page by page by page. So how can we solve it if we can't build our way in? We can't build stuff. We can rehab stuff. I'm not going to put a tent village up. I would never do a FEMA village. And I even cringe at the thought of acres and acres of tiny homes. I don't know if you've ever been in one, dude. They are tiny. I mean, they are like small. And there's another smaller home you could use, but the problem is, how do we get the stock out there to put people in? But it does work. It does work. New York started doing it probably 20 years ago when they had all those apartments. And they put you in the apartment and say, "Here you are. We'll come see you in a month. We're not going to bother you. You go ahead and do whatever you're going to do, but we're coming back in a month and we're going to start working with you." And it was really very, very successful. And so we have the chronic homeless downtown. We have the folks in the camps out, east and west, and 2 different, totally different populations. And then we have the folks in the hotels. So it's monumental, man. It is monumental.
But it's a task that you're willing to tackle and find a solution. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah. My dear brother, you were one of the first that approached our organization, HRO. Even the bowling alley that we had.
Alley, I remember.
It's not even there anymore.
Yeah, you didn't even do triple digits.
I know. That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. So there was right after a storm also. So that was why it dampened the participation. But you've broken, as a conservative, you've broken that mold, and you are reaching to the Latino community, and this formula has worked for you, because you've been the only conservative, other than Marco Rubio because of his Latin heritage, that has come across. I've even gotten to hear that you're a honorary Hispanic in some of the circles. So, is this kind of like a building block for other conservative candidates to understand the importance of entering the Latino communities? Because many Republicans come say it, it is my party and I understand it, and maybe this is a nonpartisan election, but many Republicans and conservatives cringe at trying to enter the Latino community, but yet you've done it with such ease. We love you. We see you many other activities of the Latinos. Can you just tell us why, or what was in your thought process? Was it something natural that came to you?
Yeah, if somebody doesn't want to do that, they shouldn't run. Because you represent everybody. And
exactly.
When I was running, when I wasn't supposed to win back in 2012,
exactly,
I went to an event out at Calvary, and I can't remember the organization, but it was a conservative Hispanic pastors organization, and they were talking to pastors in Texas and all across the country. And the one thing that every one of them said, every pastor said, is what they were tired of is politicians coming to them, asking for their vote, getting their vote, and then you don't see them for 4 years, and they come back and say, "Oh, by the way, I'm back again." And that night I said, I would never do that, because I was, right. I said, I will never ever do that. And besides, it's so much fun. Festivals and good food and fun. And I'm gonna tell you now, you guys love to party.
Yep, we as we say, as soon as it's there's a birth in the family, let's party. All right,
party time. But
somebody came from Puerto Rico, let's party. Yeah, somebody came from Venezuela. Yeah, we do. And
but it's fun, and the amazing thing is just how it's family oriented, and the depth of the love for the family. And that cuts across every culture, and if you don't love your family, you don't want to embrace your family, and that's where it starts breaking down. And so you can see, in areas where that's breaking down, and that's the other thing we need to attack is those neighborhoods where that's breaking down, and the neighborhoods are breaking down. That's where you get the seeds that start the mental health issues and the trafficking issues and the homelessness issues and everything that just kind of boils up and gets kind of seedy in society. So the other thing I want to do is look at the kind of neighborhoods, and I know they're doing a lot of work in Pine Hills and Lift Orlando. Phenomenal that they're using some techniques called 2Gen out of the Aspen Institute. Yep. So they're not gentrification; they're regentrifying around the Citrus Bowl.
Yep.
They tore down the slums. They're rebuilding it, and that's what I want to do. Because if you put kids in a home by the 3rd grade, you got books in the home, and they have a foundation. You got to get them by the 3rd or 4th grade, or you may lose them. My Kiwanis Club, we have folks come in, doing book drives. They say there are kids with 0 books in their home. I said, no books? How? So,
it's either video games, the cell phone.
They didn't have that. These were poor kids, nothing. Not even a book to read, So we make sure we got books, but. So we build those communities, but it's a process. This is not something that's going to happen in 4 to 8 years. But if you don't lay the groundwork, and if you don't do it right, and if you can't get folks to kind of see where you want to go with it, and where you want to go is you want everybody to succeed. Because in a long way, everybody helped us. You can't say that somebody hasn't helped each and every one of us somewhere, either kick some sense in our heads or gave us a break. And until we give somebody a break or kick a little sense in them, I don't think we've done the right thing.
I think Commissioner Gus and Paloma put it correctly, and Mila could agree with me. No es darle de la mano. It's not giving them a hand down. It's giving them a hand up, so they could change. That's and that's why I Gus Martinez, Paloma Martinez. I like their project since the beginning because we're trying to help these people lift themselves up from that, and I think that's a very good integral plan to when you become the mayor, because again I'm putting that feather on that hat. You are going to become the mayor of Orange County, and you're right, and the first seed of that foundation is to elect you, Pete. You've been my friend. I consider you my brother, my older brother that You've never told me anything that I didn't need to hear, either in the politics or having fun or not hitting 100 and bowling. But you know,
no, you hit 100.
Yeah, about that, not the triple digits. You're right. Yeah. So basically, that's what we need. We need a politician that could break that mold. Talk to all people, because you're right. You're not only the mayor of all people in Orange County, be it if they're English, from Puerto Rico, from the Dominican Republic, from Venezuela, from Haiti, from Uganda, from anywhere. If they come to make Orange County home, they're your constituents. Pete, I hope that you don't leave. We're going to do a little break because we need to give a little bit of a musical enthusiasm, and that's on the hands of Miguel. We will be back with Gina, que you've been kind of calladita there. You've been absorbing everything, and we'll be back with Mila. So listen to me. We're here with Pete Clarke, the Commissioner Pete Clarke, Gina Perez Calhoun, la hija que está acá atrás, que está como que no quiere hablar, y Mercedes, que está escondida por allá. ¡Ay, le dije el nombre! Está escondida por allá. Tú creías que no te veía. Son las navidades, que Dios me las bendiga. Vamos con la canción Listen to Me. Mi gente, estamos de vuelta en Listen to Me. Aquí estamos con la bellísima Mila Mel, que déjame jalarla para acá. Le di una receta para el dolor de cabeza. Ella, si quieren a la receta que yo le dije para el dolor de cabeza, le escriben a ella en su Facebook, ¿ok? Porque mira, todo está como una nenita de 18 años. Vamos a bailar lambada y disco ahorita, pero no sé cómo lleguemos a la casa, pero estropeado llegamos. Mi querida Mila. Gina, how you doing? Gina Perez is running for Commissioner District 4. How you doing? Thank you for being my co-host. Pero tú estás media calladita. What's up?
Estuve calladita porque cuando uno está escuchando buenas ideas,
yeah,
de
good
una
ideas,
persona
right?
Que la gente quiere muchísimo,
Yep.
de partido aquí, partido allá, non-partisan. Todo el mundo que yo hablo likes this man.
I know.
Over here.
Pete
so
Clarke.
you have to be silent, because when he speaks, he's giving great ideas. You gotta listen. You gotta learn.
That is true. That is true. That is true. So, Gina, you were also at the activity of Gus Martinez of Help the Homeless. How did that? Can you tell us your experience? Give us you were there for quite a while. So, what was your experience being there?
It was awesome. It was a blessing. And it was humbling, and it was so gratifying and awesome to see the work that God can do through the people.
Exactly, because there was people
like us, everybody.
Yeah,
there was
so
people
many people. Cutting hairs. There was a prayer tent, the changing room, Paloma. So people could get. Let me just paint this picture. If you were homeless, you were able to get some toiletries. You were able to get information on disability. You could get a prayer. You could get clothing. You could get food, because I think we served close to 2,000, 3,000 people. The numbers, Gus. I have to bring Gus back, and we still have to talk about that, because we had Channel 2, Fox 35, El Sentinel en Español. We had English and Spanish newspapers covering this activity, because it's like Pete says, we do have to try and help people get up of the ground and create them to be taxpayers. Do you agree with that, Gina?
I agree. The way I try to see it is the true heart of a conservative. The difference is that when you see someone that's in need, you don't say, he needs me, she needs me. You say, I need him to have a job, like Pete said. I need him to be whole. I need him to have those things that are missing, because they're part of the body. And when a body part is hurting, your whole body's hurting. And and that's, I think, the difference. Instead of saying, oh, ay bendito, ese pobrecito me necesita, and we need each other, and we need each other to be prosperous, successful, not to be in need. And I think that event showed how amazing is when people help people. And so we needed to contribute. We need them to the best of their abilities to get to that position, and that's something that I believe is always better done by a shoulder, a person.
Exactly.
Your local church, your local community, a leader like Gus. I mean, that's what happens. And then when the individual starts doing it, and the non-for-profits and the churches do it, and the government doesn't put obstacles to the non-profits and take obstacles away from the churches to be able to do the ministry they need to do, then they come and join and do amazing things. I think the first example of meeting a need on the county was when they built that parking garage between the First Presbyterian and the county. I mean, that was an example in the nation first to do something like that. So the same thing, the problems we have, there's no reason why we can all work together, nonprofits, the churches, the individuals, and then the government helps us by, getting out of the way and not being an obstacle.
Exactly. And again, Gina, and for Pete, we're gonna be asking you that information also, because in the first part we didn't ask that about Pete. Gina, how can people contact you? What's the website?
The website is www.electgina, that's GINAFL.com. And also, we're asking that you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And when you do, please tweet Elect Gina and People Over Politics, which is our message, is people over politics, because that's how we can solve problems.
And my dear friend Pete Clarke, Commissioner, what's the website, and how can people help you in your quest to become the Orange County Mayor?
The website is www.peteclarke.org. So just peteclarke.org.
Okay.
We're on Facebook, and I don't tweet that much, man.
No problem.
You don't want to get in trouble,
I
huh?
will.
I'm the president.
Not at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm very impressed with the young lady back here tweeting that. So I need a tweeter to follow me around.
So you need to get somebody to tweet for you. All right.
But that's the way to do it. Volunteer. Contributions are always nice. It's going to be a very expensive race. But,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, folks out there helping us knock on doors, and places put signs. Signs are very, very helpful in certain areas, and just getting the word out. Phone banking. It'll all be fun after the first of the year. We'll really be ramping it up.
Okay.
And one thing I do is I love knocking on doors, so I'll be out there every minute I can. And as you may have already found out, you never know what's on the other side of that door. As much as you try to figure it out, as much information you have, you never know. And it's 99.9% of the time it is just a delightful experience, and then the other 0.1% is just like, holy mackerel, this can't be real.
Is this for real or what?
Real or what? Especially
Well,
when they don't have any clothes on.
Like, are you the pizza guy? No.
I will tell you one hand: if you have no clothes on, just say, if you let me put a sign here, I won't call the police.
Let me just put a sign right there.
It worked. That sign stayed there the whole election, never budged. So it was one of my brighter moments. But it's fun, and that's the way to help.
Good. And Pete, I know that our organization has worked together in several other aspects for your. I know that we did a lot of drives during the early voting, and we did what we call election parties. We're going to do that again. So when the early voting starts and the absentee ballots start coming out, because I also vote absentee. It's very easy. It's you sign up in the mail, put a stamp, put it in the mail, and you voted. So we like doing those types of parties. We're going to be doing them for you too. But we also want to start trying to organize, either for Gina or for you, but walks on Saturdays. Through the Latino neighborhoods and try to organize that. So, Mercedes, I know you're hiding back there, but you and I next year, we're going to be talking a lot. All right.
Talking of that, Jay, we're going to be on Saturday. We're going to be hitting Meadowwoods, and we're going to be probably all afternoon until the sun goes down.
So good. So I'll be able to, I got some really good volunteers out in Meadowwoods. This Saturday and the 16th of December, I already have them compromised, because the 16th of December, Gus has another activity in South OBT for the kids. So I'm going to be the MC again. So we're going to have Gus talking about that again, and we will be talking about that, and hopefully you could be there at that activity. I know that you're busy, Commissioner, and Gina also. I don't know if that's part of your district, but it would be nice for you to be there to be able to see what we're doing. Again, like you say, it's a humbling experience, but you get a lot of these politicians, what they don't understand is that that's where the true pulse of the electorate is. When they have these problems, when they're living in hotels, they're living day by day. They're not living paycheck to paycheck. They're living day by day. Yeah. So this is the way that we could educate the politicians to be able to help them create another breed of politicians, because politicians will always be there. It's we have to weed out those that want to be career politicians versus those that really want to help the people like you, like Pete, people that come from Venezuela, people that are coming from Puerto Rico, and change the mind frame of because right now, when you talk about a person that is running for elected to be a public servant, it's not the same thing as 20 years ago when they say, oh yeah, I'm running for such and such seat. Oh, well, cool, that is right. Oh, this is another crook, this is another stink. They have that stigma already into their negative mind frame. And it's like Pete says, you knock on the doors, and sometimes you have 99%, you have very agreeable people. That 1% is like, what the heck is this? Yeah, like corre camino, the road runner.
You know what? I saw a sign outside of a home in Avalon. It looked like the 10 Commandments, and they said we all own, weapons here, etc., etc. I was like, okay, well, still knocked.
Yeah. and they talked to you, right?
They weren't home.
Oh, okay. So well, you left them a little door hanger. Yeah,
card,
because that's the part of the freedom of expression. You have the right. They have the right to put their signs and say, "I have 1,600 cameras. I own 450,000 guns." Okay, fine. I'm gonna leave this little bullshit right here. But and Gina, again, differentiating us from your competitors. What other ideas? We talked about it in the last, but I also want to, we have sometimes different audienceships. What do you think is Gina Perez's vision for District 4?
Well, Florida is a very veteran-friendly state, and of course, there's always room for improvement. I think there's room for improvement here in Orange County, and so I want to be able to take any obstacles that recently discharged veterans have if they want to start their own businesses in Orange County. So I want to look into that and see if we can make it more veteran friendly. I also want to look into an issue that's very important to me. Has to do with human trafficking. It's something that affects the lives of many people, not only the victim, but the people around him, generations to come. And I was meeting with a Florida abolitionist, and it is something that the county started to doing some good work in that area, and I know Pete is very also dedicated to that. But we need to figure out what can we do, and it starts from educating the community, letting people understand that this is happening, and we need to try to work with that, because it affects people's lives. But then for those who are a little bit more skeptic, it can affect your property values, everything else. We're a great community. We want to make it the best place to live, and so those are some of the issues. Safety, because we want our children to be safe, and we want our law enforcement to be, like Pete said, I almost felt myself like I was hearing my echoes, but the best trained, best equipped, best paid, and we want them to be safe. I mean, my husband was a police officer for a little while, and he's in the military, and so we know that they're putting their lives every day on the line, and the families, when they kiss them goodbye, they don't know if they're gonna have them come back home. And so we want to be able to have Orange County
safe again. And Pete, Gina has brought two points very, very interesting, and I want to touch about to hear your ideas. I know that they may mirror both Gina's and yours. Human trafficking and public safety. Let's go with human trafficking first. What do you feel that we need to do to be able to stop that break that cycle of human trafficking coming through Orange County?
It's like I say, there's evil and there's pure evil. Trafficking is pure evil. It's slavery.
Yep.
And you know, the good thing is the churches are involved, and it kind of goes back to the early days of slavery, where you know, it was basically the churches were helping out. But you know, the Orange County, we funded the first adult emergency shelter in the state of Florida, and yeah, I'm very, very proud that we were able to get that done. So you know, it's the only crime where you have to be a criminal to be a victim.
Wow.
So you know, think about it. You have to be a criminal to be a victim, because you have to be arrested for prostitution, then you're a victim.
Yeah.
And that's in the works, hopefully, to change that for, you know, truly trafficked individuals. You know, just the pure economics of it, one trafficked youngster is worth $1 million.
Yep.
Pretty much by the time they're used up, it's $1 million, you know, for the John. So if you go to countries where they don't have these issues as much, like Scandinavia, and this is what I've talked to some of our legislators about, you know, and poor Mercedes, we took him down the trail one night. We went through with the arrests, and you know how they arrest the Johns, and it's pretty impressive how they do it. But and you go down where they've got them all, you know, sitting ready to go down to jail, and they're all whining and crying, you know, oh my God, where's my car? What's my wife going to say? You're thinking, you idiots.
You're the one.
Stupid idiots, you know.
You're the one patronizing
you're
this.
The ones that talk to the deputies, you know, it wasn't us. But if you look at some countries where you don't have this problem, those numbskulls will be out of jail that night.
Yeah.
The ladies will be there for 30, 60 days. Those idiots will be out figuring out what to tell their wife, their girlfriend, or you know,
Their
whoever,
families, yeah.
Their families, you know, why they were a little late that night. You know, especially when the mail starts coming from all the lawyers about, you know, taking care of them in court. Yeah, instead of an overnight stay, if you go to some of the Scandinavian countries, you'll be in jail for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, because if you look at it, you know, every lady on that strip is somebody's daughter.
Yep.
You know,
And
somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's aunt, and you know what got them there? You know, what got them there was drugs. What got them there was mental health issues. Oh, we already talked about all that. You know what gets them there? But if you supply demand, man, if you take away the demand, the supply dries up. And so I think sentencing. You know, I mean, there's some schools now that are starting, John schools, which are pretty good. So you know, maybe you put the clamps on the customer, and you can get some results, because you know, especially maybe you just put them in the paper. You know, John got arrested tonight for being John.
Yeah.
Shame. The Scarlet Letter.
You know.
The Scarlet Letter. You know, start shaming them.
Scarlet J.
And how about the public safety? Because we got a couple of more minutes, Pete. So how about public safety?
You know, the thing is, we have in my district right now. I do have OPD, Sheriff's Office, Belle Isle Police, and Edgewood Police. You know, all great. I mean, these are folks out there every day, you know, putting it on the line. And it's up to us to make sure, you know, as she was saying, that they're the best equipped, you know, best trained, and best paid we can possibly do. Because at the end of the day, you know, you watch TV all day long, and you know, these people complaining about cops, but I'll guarantee you, when somebody's walking around that shouldn't be there, they're going to call 911.
Yeah.
They're going to expect that police officer to be there, and we want them to be trained so that they don't walk into a trap. You know, I've been to too many funerals in the last 2 years for police officers who walked into very bad situations.
Yep, we sure do.
You know,
we know some of those cases.
I don't want to do it again, you know, because it's very sad. And firefighters, same thing. You know, who would have thought that fire trucks would have bulletproof vests on them?
Yeah.
I mean, we have vests on our fire trucks now to protect our firefighters. And we also correctional officers, and then you know, public the folks over in you know, the hurricane, the disaster management folks. You know, it all just kind of boils all together, and it's up to us to make sure that every piece of that equation works. Because you know, when the hurricanes come, every piece of that equation is involved, and you want it to work seamlessly, and it does in Orange County. We get you know, people are very jealous of how we can handle situations here. It's all training, and so it's all training and making sure the resources are there. Because one of the primary reasons for government is public safety.
Exactly.
You know,
Correct.
Without public safety, why bother? You know. So I mean, so I'm sorry.
No, I just say
It's all
no.
yours. It's all
It's
yours.
within those purviews of the government. Those things that we agree the government should be involved.
Well, that's one thing that should be involved in, is public safety.
Well, Pete, before we go, and I hope that this is the first time of many other times that you come to my radio show, because I think that the information you have to provide is very, very important. Again, for all those that are listening, what's that website for your mayoral bid, please?
Yeah, first of all, www.peteclarke.org.
Fantastic. And Pete, we hope that we could have you more. And we know that you're a musician, so we're going to have to try and coax that out of you.
December 3rd, Soto, we're playing again. They invited us back from last year for their Christmas bash.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll be playing. We don't know the exact time, but probably early afternoon, maybe 1 o'clock or so. So we're gonna do about an hour's worth of classic rock for them.
Cool. Well, Gina, we've come to the end. This is your first co-hosting. Welcome. You did an awesome job. Please shoot out your website, please.
www.electginafl.com. And that's elect Gina, GINAFL.com.
Y bueno, mi Mila, este es otro capítulo más de Listen to Me. Tú, ya, un día de esto vas a salir hablando inglés,
claro,
ya tú sabes.
Inglés. Me pongo a la orden como voluntaria para ustedes. Yo tengo material que podría educar a las mujeres y a la comunidad entera con respecto a lo que es la trata, a lo que es la violencia de género, a lo que es el tráfico de droga, cómo trafican. O sea, yo tengo material, mucho material, pues en Venezuela, como te digo, era docente de 5 universidades. Entonces tengo mucho material que para la población hispana, que es la que más sufre este impacto, pues yo podría serles de utilidad si ustedes tienen a bien. Ese es el primer punto. El segundo punto, Paloma, donde quieras que estés, quiero que sepas que te adoro, que te admiro, que Changing Room es importante porque darle ese granito de arena a los homeless, tomarlos en cuenta, es hacerlos sentir seres humanos. Eso es muy importante porque quién sabe si de ahí sacamos a 1, 2 o 3 y los vamos rescatando poco a poco. Ese es el compromiso de todos y debe ser el compromiso de todos. Sí. Y mi compromiso con Jay de darle las gracias por invitarme de nuevo al programa. Gracias por escucharme, gracias por estar pendiente de Venezuela. Amén. Venezuela, los amo pero sigo aquí.
All right, mi gente, so este es otro capítulo. This is another show of the award-winning radio show. Listen to Me. We'll see you next Tuesday. Yeah!